Hello and welcome back to Tarot Playdate number 74 today, which is cooler than it is in Seattle by a lot right now. Oh, you can hear Vaughn shaking in the background. Anyway, happy Sunday, everyone. Nice to see you. Let me say some hellos to those of you who are already here. Thanks for waiting. And also, if anyone wants to share if the Queen of Wands came up for you in the last week, how's she playing out? I mean, I think we talked about this being the Queen of Summer, and it's definitely summer here in Seattle. We are getting up to pretty close to 100 degrees today. It was over 100 yesterday. It's supposed to get up to 109 tomorrow. I think that's ridiculous. So thankfully, I have air conditioning, but my air conditioning is way at the other end of the hall, so I have a fan kind of blowing. So let me know. It should be pretty quiet, but let me know if it's too loud for you guys to hear me. All right, let me say some hellos. We have Simon, first one in today, A up. We have Scott, Scorpio Moon Tarot. Nice to see you. And Becca Tuxin Tarot. Hello, folks. We have Elle. Hello, hello. And then let's see, Jenna Ball is back. Nice to see you, Jenna. I was just talking about you with Elle earlier today. And let's see. Oh, no. Oh, the chat jumped all the way. Not that it's very far today. Is everybody outside playing today? We have Elizabeth. Hello, hello. And let's see. Simon's predicting the 10 of Cups. Yeah, you tell him, Elle. We're really hoping the 10 of Cups comes up for the last Tarot play date, but yeah. Elle's predicting the Queen of Cups. Oh, yes, the remaining queens for Pride Month. Actually, I think we only have one queen left. That's the only one. But we hit, what? Did we hit the other two that we had? We had Queen of Wands, obviously, last week. Did we have Queen of Pentacles this month? I already don't even remember. Let's see here. Do we have the Queen of Swords left? And I'm just going to look because there's only a few. No, we have the Page. We have the Page of Swords left. All right. Anyway, I'm getting myself distracted. Hi, White Tree Tarot and Tychen Light Moon. Donna Riedler. Hello. Shanti Diva. Maharet. Long-haired, skinny-eyed toe. Regina Tarot. Lori Tries a Life. Nope. Come back, chat. I was doing so good. I was on a roll. Michelle. Hello. Sandra from the Whispering Well. Hello. And let's see. Gigi Nilsson is here. And D. Lady, Nikki Roots. Hello. Is that a new name? Have you been here before, Nikki? Or do we need to give you like a full-on playdate welcome? I apologize if I should know the answer to that. And Kristen Louise. Hello. And did I make it to the bottom already? I think I did. It's not too crazy yet this morning. Yep, Queen of Cups is left. I know that. Erin Davis, hey. All right, so I've got myself all kinds of setups. I have a fan in case it starts to get real hot. I have ice on my feet. I'm going to try not to be a sweaty playdate mess for you guys today, is what this is really all about. I make no promises about not choking on camera, though. Okay, so for those of you who are here, and for those of you especially who have done this before, the next thing I am going to do is gather a list of 5 questions that we will use this week's Tarot Playdate card to answer. I don't know what I was going to say there. So, like Simon is showing you here, if you put it in all caps for me, then I don't miss it. I do tend to prioritize questions that are for the collective so that we can all benefit from the card's advice this week. But we have had some folks sneak in some kind of more personal questions that we usually still find the time to answer. But let's see, we have Kim has snuck in here. And did I see Jackie? I feel like I saw Jackie. Oh, yep, there's Jackie. Hi, Jackie. And okay, so let me get over to my other chat so I can get Simon's question here. What blockages or obstacles should we look out for that can prevent us reaching our full potential? Ooh, I like that. A good warning. Okay, I need to not have messages popping up right now. There we go. Okay, so from the Hermit's Cave, what blockages or obstacles should we, I could totally use an answer for that question, selfishly speaking and all. Prevent us. How's everybody doing today while I'm typing these up? I don't ask you that very often, but how are you? Our full potential. Okay, thank you very much, Simon, for not making me wait those excruciating like 30 seconds or more that I usually wait for questions. Nikki, making an effort as we're at the end of that's nice. It's nice of you to come in and hang out with us. All right, we have from Kristen Louise, how can we live more authentically? I love that question. Kristen Louise Tarot. How can we live? You have no idea how hard I'm working to answer that question. Okay, love that. And let's see, what else do we have here? Scroll back up here. Am I all caught up? Did I see Corbin sneak in? Hi, Corbin. Oh, I almost missed Jenna Ball. How will Neptune retrograde affect us? Oh my gosh, I like am missing so many. Okay, let me get up here and let me get Scott's. Okay, I think that's the only other one I missed. Phew. I almost messed that all up. Okay, sorry, these are totally going to be out of order, but they will all be here. Scorpio, Moon, Tarot. How can we live in a more empowered state throughout the week? We're all wanting some personal power this week. I feel like we're all on the same page, same wavelength. This is going to be fun. All right. And okay, then here, so I know nothing about Neptune retrograde. I know the kind of the concepts around Mercury retrograde, but it'll be interesting. I'm gonna count on you, Jenna, to give us some context when we get to your question. How will Neptune retrograde affect us? Or maybe the tarot will answer the question for me. How about that? Okay, and then, okay, so I think I have 4. I got Kristen's. I think I need 1 more. Does anyone have a question they'd like to answer with this week's card? Thank you all for bringing your questions. It's always so very much appreciated, let me tell you. I'm going to check and make sure I didn't miss anyone. Oh, I saw Debbie Aquarius Owl. Hello, welcome in. I think I got all of those questions. I'm stalling so somebody can sneak one in. Let's see. And if nobody asks one, I'll just ask something really generic. Patrice, hello. You know, we haven't even drawn a card yet. That does not even count as late, but lovely to see you. I did miss yours, Jenna, but then I went back up and picked it up. And Annabelle Z, hello. Corbin didn't forget it was Sunday this week. I almost messaged you this morning, Corbin, and then I was like, that's going to seem really like a self-promoting. Like, hi, are you going to be at Playdate? But it was mostly just to make sure you knew it was Sunday. But I didn't do it because it might look weird. Oh, D has asked one. Okay, where's D's? Let me find it. There it is. Where can we find more joy? Oh, thank you guys. Oh, stunning, stunning help. Okay, so D lady. Oops, I didn't put on the screen. Where can we find more joy? Always a good question to ask. You guys are awesome. Where can we find more joy? All right, so I have 5 questions. Thank you all. If anybody was coming in to save me at the end there. Okay, so Jenna says Neptune will have us more confused than a bag of Skittles because Neptune is the planet of illusion, dreams, and fantasies. Oh, but the dreams part sounds kind of cool. Like, I can get on board with that. I don't know about the rest, y'all. All right, so let me get, this is like so hard to shuffle. It's ridiculous. Nobody plays with the tarot card or tarot deck this tiny. All right, so we have, now we're just doing like this kind of shuffle. Maybe I can still overhand it. Oh, I can. Okay, so from Simon at the Hermit's Cave, what blockages or obstacles should we look out for that could prevent us reaching our full potential? From Kristen Louise Tarot, how can we live more authentically? From Scott Scorpio Moon Tarot, how can we live in a more empowered state throughout the week? From Jennifer Ball's Witch House, how will Neptune retrograde affect us? I'm hoping positive dreams. I'm hoping positive dreams. And then from D Lady, where can we find more joy? By coming to Playdate. Like how I did that? All right, my friends. Here is our card for the week. All right. Somebody called it earlier today. Let me set that aside. Does she not feel appropriate to answer these questions? So we are knocking out the queens this month for Pride Month, right? Anyway, what do you guys think? First impressions, thoughts? Are you happy to see this card? Does it make you nervous? Okay, let me scooch over so you can see the card better. And let me say some more hellos. We have Lori cursing Neptune. Scott, I could use a fantasy week if it's the right fantasy. You know the crowd you're hanging out with here. That could be taken so many ways, Scott. Let's see. Did I miss anyone coming in? Regina Tarot, did I say hello to you? I think I did. Ann Fort is here. Hello. Elle says, we predicted her. Yay, Scott. I called it. Sandra says, that's me in the tarot. So this is your court card. I think we probably have quite a few Queen of Moons, Queen of Cups. Okay, just a quick show of hands. How many people identify with the Queen of Cups most in the tarot as that being sort of the court card that represents? You know, a little show of hands, a me, something. Hi, Renee, and thank you. That's very sweet of you. Nice to see you here. SpongeBob, where does SpongeBob come in? All right, so Simon is giving us an initial meaning here. Kindness and understanding is needed. Donna says she could be dreamy. Yeah, I think so. I think the cup suits are often about like romantic ideas, but not necessarily, I don't mean necessarily just in love, but just like dreaminess and fantasy and really following your heart and your intuition and all of that. Gigi says, I had a hunch when I saw the questions, right? Seemed appropriate. Sometimes I wonder if you guys are trying to like rig the tarot with the questions that you ask. Let's see here. Laurie says, Mom, is this do you identify your mom with the Queen of Cups, or do you just see her as a mother figure, Laurie? I'm kind of curious. Corbin's like, yay, Queen. You guys are fun. All right, let's see here. I'm scrolling to get caught up. What she got in that cup, you know, it probably depends on the day, the time of day, and the mood she is in. Okay, well, you got a double hello today, Regina. Let's see here. Kristen's telling us some kind of story, but I think I missed it. Elizabeth said, no, Queen of Swords here. Same here. Same here. And a little Queen of Wands, totally. And a little Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Cups is probably kind of like last on my list of queens. Not that I like, but that I feel like I embody, you know? Patrice says, Vernetta got Queen of Cups in her reading last night. Didn't that happen recently in another one of our cards where Vernetta had one of the cards from the night before? Is this becoming a pattern? Are you guys predicting tarot playdate cards, Patrice? Let's see here. Mother figure, says Lori. Okay, so that's kind of how you identify this particular queen. Yeah. Hi, Neem, the last queen of TPD. We were just looking at your spreadsheet again today. It's a thing of beauty. If you guys have not seen this and you are in the Tarot Playdate Facebook group, Neem shared the spreadsheet that she created. I think Simon may have commented on it because he's only missed like 2 playdates. He didn't know which cards he missed. So looking at Neem's spreadsheet will clue you in if you've missed any to know what we've covered. Okay, Donna, that sounds weird, so I'm not going to read that out loud. But you know what comment I'm talking about, right? Hi, Antoinette. Lovely to see you. Donna says, I'm also Queen of Swords with bits of the others mixed in. Kristen says, I honestly have no clue which court card I embody the most. I don't think Queen of Cups, though. I have no clue. I don't know, Kristen. I don't know. I could maybe see a bit of Queen of Cups in you. Let's see here. Oh, thank you for putting a link to the Facebook group. Yeah, it's been pretty quiet in there. I think as we gotten to the end of the cards, everybody's like slowing down on the Facebook group, but it's still fun to see people post stuff in there. Hi, Sean. All right. Okay, let's get down to business. I am just wasting time today. I'm just lounging by the beach today with this queen. All right. So what are some of the initial things that you think about when you see this queen? What meanings immediately come to mind? And we'll talk about the reversals later, but if you want to talk about the shadowy elements, that doesn't bother me at all. Sort of what things come to mind, you know, right away. Obviously, with her being a queen, I think about the nurturing aspects. I certainly think about her being more heartfelt and connected with her emotions, and that's maybe how she connects with others as well, for better and sometimes for worse, right? Just like with any of our court cards. What do you guys think? Oh, Jenna shared something about Neptune retrograde in the Facebook group. Ooh, thank you. That'll be fun to see that later. Oh, thank you, Debbie. You're right. I need to show the melanated. Can't get too far into this, right? Okay. You guys are good. You never let me forget. And I will show these cards, just as I always do, more close up in a little bit when we start talking about all the different symbols. This one's so pretty. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. We'll take it. I promise I'll give you a nice close-up look in a little bit here. Donna said, oh, I meant in an adult beverage kind of way. I don't even remember. I just remember thinking about it in a cheeky way, Donna. Let's see here. She's like the high priestess intuitive. Do you see her similar to the high priestess? I see her. I feel like she's going to be more open than the high priestess, whereas I feel like, you know, we have a lot of mystery in the major, right? Whereas I feel like in this queen, we have a lot of that same stuff, really being in touch with intuition and all of that, but also more, perhaps a bit more, to use a very old and cliched term, wearing her heart on her sleeve a bit more. I don't see the high priestess in that way, but I can totally see the connection there. Elizabeth says they are connected to their higher self and receptive to messages from their dreams. They pay close attention to their feelings and intuition, and they always listen to their heart. Oh, I love that as a meaning for this card. Let's see here. Regina says, the Queen of Cups always notices more than you think she does. Also empath. Yeah, that's definitely, if there's any card in the tarot that I hear people associate the word empath with, this is the one. Like, this is always the one, right? Kristen says, kind, tending to other people's emotions and issues, a therapist type, can be overly emotional. Yeah, you know, the thing with leading with emotions, sometimes it's nice and calm and regulated, and sometimes it is stormy. All right, let's see. Gigi says, for me, it's the ultimate nanny and caregiver card. Oh, that's interesting, the nanny card. I wouldn't have thought of that, I don't think. Debbie says an Empress High Priestess hybrid. Yeah, I see that. We still have the Empress card left, too. It'll be interesting to see, since we'll cover these kind of close together. Scott says emotional control for both Queen and King of Cups. Not sure the difference. We can talk about that a little bit. For me, I feel like the King is super in control of his emotions. So he's having them, but he's mastered them, if that makes sense. Whereas the Queen, I feel like you're going to see it more, like kind of the ebbs and flows. She's also more likely, I think, to extend to others. Whereas the King, you know, it's like we see him in the rocky waters, right? So he's like, yeah, all this chaos is happening around me. I'm cool. I'm collected, but I'm here. I'm caring, you know, so he's doing it in a loving way. But I think there's more stoicism in that particular card, whereas with the Queen, I think is more likely to extend outward. Does that? I don't know. I'm babbling, but you guys tell me what you think, how you would answer that for Scott. Neem says, by the way, there are 3 tabs on that spread. Oh, how did I not see the other tabs on the spreadsheet? One by week number, the other by card. Oh, you are a gal after my own heart with the spreadsheet. Let me tell you. Oh, Antoinette says nurses. Yes, I can totally see people who are in the healthcare field definitely associating with the Cups cards for sure. White Tree Tarot says, A.E. Waite describes her as dreamy. She sees visions in her cup. I like this idea. I like that idea too. Donna says, definitely in touch with her emotions and those of others. Yes, yes, yes. Jenna, I missed your punny thumbs up things. You know, and I can see the difference when you're here and when you're not here and how many thumbs ups I get on a video. So thank you for the work you do for me. I'll have to send you something. Aquarius Owl, maybe Empress is mama vibes and Queen of Cups is grandma vibes. Oh, so I mean, Debbie just aged all you people who identify as, just kidding. But yeah, I can see what you mean about that. Anne says, she always unsettles me. Too much emotion. I feel like she could easily be overwhelmed in a situation. I think that's totally true. You know, I have some people that I know identify as Queen of Cups, kind of archetypes in my life, or that I've had in my life. And I think that's really true. And sometimes I've seen emotions get carried away. Kristen Louise says, I see the Queen as a therapist and the King as the psychology professor who writes articles about emotions. Oh, that's a great distinction. I love that. Elle says, tapping into and channels the power of intuition and emotion. Yeah, we're still just on the general descriptions, Erin, but probably somebody already answered that because I'm always a little behind in the chat here. Scott says, empath, love it. Working on a video today about empaths. Love the synchronicity. Also, your definition of the card does make sense. Okay, thanks. Glad that made sense. Donna says, oh, that's a helpful way to think of them, Kristen. Dee says, the sharing, caring type. A bit overwhelming, perhaps, for the more reserved of us. A bit overwhelming. I can see that. Like, I guess this would sort of be combined with how you express yourself naturally, right? So how you express your emotions, if you identify as, you know, with this card, or it resonates with you in whatever moment, or you're getting the advice to embrace this card, right? It's expressing it in your own unique way, I think, is still valid. And I don't think we should put pressure on ourselves ever to like extend ourselves beyond where we're comfortable. I think it's good to push the boundaries. I think it's good to stretch against our comfort limits, but being in tune with how you're feeling is, I think, an important aspect of that card. Jessica, hello, Jessica. The Queen of Cups just now clicked. I've been reading tarot for a little over a year and have struggled with all the court cards. This is why Playdate is awesome, because all these people bring different ideas and ways we can think about it. So that is awesome feedback. Thank you, Jessica. Let's see. Antoinette says, she is a hedge witch who scries. Interesting. Erin says, the Queen of Cups makes me think of the Moon card a lot. Also another card we have. You guys, I'm starting to see a theme. You guys have referenced the Empress and the Moon card, both of which are in the 4 cards left for Tarot Playdate. We're getting a run of related cards, it seems. So Jessica says, after you explain the Queen of Cups, I definitely identify with her. I'm a nurse and I get very emotionally attached with my patients. That sounds very Queen of Cupsy to me, Jessica. Corbin says, I feel like the Queen of Cups, though, would be master of her emotions. Yeah, I think that's fair. And I know I was kind of saying like the King is more that way, but I sort of see a progression in the court cards. So the King not being male, the King being sort of like the top master. So I guess that's kind of how I look at it. But I think the nuance is very slim there, even if you do look at it kind of in the way that I do. Elle says, in the process of learning that the world often leaves the tender heart sore, but that this tenderness is actually a gift. Let me read this again. I need to absorb this. In the process of learning that the world often leaves the tender heart sore, but that this tenderness is actually a gift and a strength. Okay, that's a really beautiful. Where did that come from? You might say it later, but it is like, it can be sometimes difficult and painful to feel the emotions, right, and to express them and all of that. But it is a gift. Oh, I love that. That's beautiful. Okay. Let's see here. Donna says, yes, maybe a shadow aspect could be an oversharer. I've seen that as well. Ready for the symbols? We have a fair few. All right, I'll have to get up close and personal here in just a minute, Simon. Thank you so much. Let me see if I have any other. So Regina was agreeing with Corvin here about the queen being a master of the emotions, also able to articulate them better than a lot of us. Extremely self-aware. Maybe the Queen of Cups in childhood and as adolescence was overwhelmed, but has wisdom from that. Oh, I love that. Let's see. Elle says, yes, oversharing for sure. Sean says, more intuitive than emotional. In just the queen in general? Erin says, her face looks like the profile face in the moon card. Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, and it's like the angle and everything, huh? Sue says, hi, Sue. She's holding that very ornate cup very carefully. She's treasuring those emotions, validating them. And then Kristen says, unhealthy Queen of Cups would be someone obsessed with their own emotions, right? And I can see that obsession going multiple ways, like being so connected with your emotions that I have to think on that. I need to think on that so that I can articulate that the way that I want to. Oh, hey, Robin. This is a good hot summer day card, sitting in a chair at the beach with your feet at the water's edge, right? I wish my feet were in the ocean right now, let me tell you. Dee says, what about a few boundaries? Water emotions drown people if they get in too deep. True, very true. Antoinette says, I see the kings as more detached emotionally, unavailable at times. I had the melanated up for a long time, my friends, and so I just recently switched it out here, and I'll switch it back. Kristen says, I don't see it as a gift. Elle says, discovering that we can manipulate emotions. Our emotions can manipulate us and others. Oh, that quote was from the Slow Holler Guidebook. Okay, that was cool. All right. Let's see. Kim says, empathy from those feelings. Yes. Okay, I think I made it to the bottom. All right, so I'm going to get up close. Simon is ready to share with you some of the symbol meanings, the way that they're described in the Ultimate Guide to the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot for any of you who might be new here. And let me put that back. So let's take a nice close-up look. We'll take a close-up look at both the original and the melanated because I love to do that. Let me know if you spot anything new that you haven't noticed before. Like in her crown, in her throne. I've never really noticed. So the here on the cup, right? We have like, at first they look like sickles, but now I see them and they look more like angels with like wings on the back or something. We have her blue and white robes here with just a splash of red. Another little cherub type figure maybe there on the throne bottom. Yeah, she certainly looks like she's sitting beachside, doesn't she? And it's interesting too. We have that little land. What is that in the back, do you think? Right here. What do we think that is? All right, so we're looking at that one. I need to scroll up so I can come back and look at what you guys called out here. And then we have our melanated, which is always beautiful. Come on, focus. Let's get some focus. Bye. I'm just going to take a deep breath, let the camera take a break here. We're going to try again. All right, here we go. There we go. Just needed a little reset. Oh, they're mermaids. That one's cute. It looks like a seashell almost at the top, doesn't it? Oh, and she has a shell clasp holding her cloak on. Same kind of landscape. Definitely adding the mermaid aspect down there. Anyways, pretty similar. All right, let's see what we've got here. So Simon says the large cup stands, oh, let's leave this one up here for a while now. So the large cup, it stands for every person's spiritual wealth, for the inexpressible worth of the soul, and a warning against self-importance, bringing in that shadowy aspect. Becca's noticing and loving the cherubs. Kristen said, never noticed little black things were angels. I thought they were sickles too. I never even focused on them until today. Like it just, I was like, oh, holding a cup. Okay, good. Like I know it's ornate, but I never really looked at those on the side. So it's kind of interesting. Let's see here. We have a jumpy chat. Annabella Z. Hi, Annabella. I know a young adult Cancer female that when she was 5, she would put it in words to her mother, what her younger siblings couldn't verbally express yet. She comes up in her 20s as the Queen of Cups. So she's been cupsy her whole life, which I guess makes sense. Let's see. Scott also never noticed the angels on the cups. Elizabeth didn't see that before. Okay, I'm not alone in my surprise in today's card. Oak Mama says, is the cup from the Ace of Cups with the cover on? You know, I don't know. Let's see. I have this one in order so we could take a quick look. I don't feel like it is. I feel like it's a very different, no, it's a very different cup. So here we have this cup, right? This really ornate, kind of angular. This one is more like a chalice. And I think it's the same in the original as well. But that was a good question. Kirsten says, cherub with a fish. So Simon says, the two angels, fairies, they underline how valuable the chalice is, integrity and protection of one's individuality. So protecting that cup from either side. Oh, that's really interesting. Donna asks, what is on her crown? Looks like a tree of life, but not exactly. Okay, sometimes we get a really nice look at the symbols in this version. Let's see if she'll focus again for me. It just looks like squiggly lines there on that one. And then this one. That one has a kind of different design. It almost looks like kind of flower petal-y, but not really. Kind of like how I would draw flowers when I was in elementary school, where I draw a circle and then lots of little circles for the petals. Let's see here. She's water of water, says Oak Mama. You know, that's interesting because when we had Queen of Wands was water of fire, right? So we decided that our queens are water. Simon says, gray throne, the shape of the shell, which is a sign of spiritual openness, encourages a patient and unprejudiced attitude to feelings. Oh, I like that. Kristen's noting that the cup is covered and not open. So what do we think about that? Is that a protective thing then, not having sort of this open cup where emotions can spill out? And so maybe that kind of comes back to Kristen saying, or not Kristen, sorry, Corbin saying, you know, she sees, sorry, getting everything mixed up. So the queen is able to kind of look at and master her emotions. Anyway, let's see. Elle says the cherub at the bottom rubbing a fish is under its arm. I'm confused. I don't know, Elle. I thought they were lobster claws. Now I see the angel. I can see that, especially when you're looking at it from further away. Jessica says, is that the cliff that the fool is walking off in the background? You know, I mean, it could be. And the queen's over here just saying, okay, just, you know, make sure you're checking in with yourself before you go diving off that cliff's edge. Simon, the flowing blue robe. Okay, so this one looks more blue, so we'll hold this one up for a minute. A sign of bonding with the watery worlds. Our bodies are mostly made up of water, being at home with water as well as the land. Sally sells seashells down by the seashore. Ha! I said it. Donna also never saw the angels on the cup. See, we all have revelations. Oh my gosh, I'm getting behind. Scott noticed that the little angel is pointing up. Let's see. Simon says the water babies represent. So are these the water babies? Like up here? Represent our inner child, childish feelings, the fountain of youth, experience rebirth many times in life. I love that concept. Louis wants to share his thoughts about Playdate and this card. The fish, the symbol of wealth and happiness, also overcoming the ego. Careful not, wait, where did I go? Careful of the ego, bring it into your consciousness and not ending up like a fish out of water. And then the cliff, high points and low points that allow us to be born again and again, to grow and reach our full potential. So the idea of the rebirth coming back in. Love that. Then Robin says, I wonder if this cup references the Ark of the Covenant, which also depicts angels on its lid, leaning in towards one another with the wings folding over protectively. I don't know anything about that, but it's an interesting association. Kristen said the ace is a chalice, which holds the blood of Christ. She is holding a ciborium, which holds the body of Christ. Ah, so bringing in more of a Christian element there. That's interesting. Simon, the colored stones. So here, I love the colored stones in this one, especially. I don't know. They really stand out to me. Soft water mold the stones. Acceptance of what lies ahead. The passage of time. Tumbling stones, which need to be cleared out of the way. Or stumbling stones. Oh, so clear them out so we don't trip over them. Literally stumble. Oh, and then Donna just said kind of the same thing that Robin was saying. The angels on the cup remind me of the Ark of the Covenant from Indiana Jones. I don't remember any of the Indiana Jones stuff. Renee's making lunch. Yeah, I will keep you company while you do that. Let's see. A lot of people liking Robin's observation here. Erin says, I noticed the reverse cross on top of the cup. Pixie being tricky again. I came up with the cross of St. Peter. Thoughts? Yeah, we didn't really focus on that, did we? So here, it kind of looks more ornamental because there's something that kind of bulges out there under the cross. But here I think it's a little more noticeable. Oh, it is kind of reversed there, isn't it? With the cross towards the lower bit. Huh. Good observation. Elle says, whenever I hear the word covenant, I think the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm with you. Oh no, I don't want to put Erin on timeout. The cup and the Smith weight makes me think Ark of the Covenant. You guys all get into these like same vibes at the same time, which I think is really cool. Sue asks, is there a connection to Venus Aphrodite rising from the waves in a shell with the shell throne? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, amazing ASMR is back. Definitely an Ark reference, and it looks like a ciborium, a chalice with lid used to hold the Eucharist, consecrated host, wafers for communion. Oh, and then that's then Kristen's reference to the body of Christ. Okay, it's all coming together, folks. Holy cow, I'm learning a lot today. Oh my goodness. Paper Moon Tarot, hi there, by the way. Are the water babies like cherubs representing love? I mean, sure. I totally think that could make sense to me. Let's see here. Kristen says the page is letting his fish flop around. She covers the cup to keep the fish in. A little more control over those emotions that the page might not yet have mastered. Erin's jinxing with everyone. Dee says the Page of Cups is surprised by Vishnu's cup like the lower water baby. Oh, did I almost get caught up? Don't anyone drown. Jenna. Every time she makes me laugh. Erin, there is a fish on the shore at the base of her throne in the corner of the picture. Yeah, Elle said something about the fish as well. Let me see if I can get it back up here. Will it focus? It kind of came on it kind of fast there. Let's see. There we go. Oh, is he holding a fish? How about that? All right, let's see here. Do we see it in this one? This one is being focus unfriendly. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, that fish is way more obvious to me. Totally missed it the first go-round, though. Good call. Yes, please. Oakham has a very good idea for us here. El Fishy. All right, my friends, shall we take a look at some alternative Queens of Cups and get to answering some questions today? But feel free to keep bringing any meanings that come to mind. I have to stay hydrated. Very hot. All right, so my first randomly selected deck today. It's in one of Kelly Bear's beautiful tarot pouches. Anybody snagged any of these recently? I snagged one, but yeah, they go very quickly. All right, we have the, what's in the pouch is This Might Hurt Tarot. So this should be a fun one. It's very close to the Rider-Waite-Smith imagery, but oh, this one's really different actually. Okay, this is going to be fun. I'm excited. All right, let me put that over there. And tell me what you think about this, and does it give you any kind of different vibes? So I love this deck because it has so much diversity in it. What is holding her hair there? That's interesting. She's in a little beach chair there. Holding, now this one has an open, kind of open bowl so we can see the water in the cup. But we have, this is more like a nighttime scene. We have this little tiny crown on top of her head, but we have the moon. So to me, this really helps bring in more of that intuitive aspect. Didn't somebody say earlier that she likes to scry? So I could totally see this being like a scrying bowl. What do you guys think? Paperman Tarot says, I got 4 of Kelly's pouches. Wow. Oh, hey, Chris. Nice to see you in. Popping in to say hello. Let's see. Scott says, I want that deck. It's a good one. I recommend it a lot. Let's see. Scrolling to see what you guys think about the card. Scott says, the crown is flowing above her head. Crown chakra. Ooh, I like that association. I also can see her being associated with the heart chakra as well, right? Just because of the emotional aspects. Antoinette says, see, she looks like she is scrying there. So was it you, Antoinette, that said the comment earlier? Sorry, I forgot. Let's see. She doesn't want to shove that crown in her face. Yeah, it's really subtle. To me, there's not as much potential for ego in this particular version of the card. She seems very approachable to me. I'm not kind of like here. She can be a little intimidating, right? With all this ornateness for us everyday schmoes, right? So I can appreciate the realness, the approachability. Now, in this particular deck, actually, oh my gosh, why am I blanking on the creator's name? Please feel free to help me out. But I believe all of the court cards are based on people that she knows in real life. So friends of hers, family, whatever it might be. So it's like, but I want to know who that is. She looks real nice. Renee says, I was thinking that as well. She looks like she is scrying. And Simon said they appear to represent their regal state. What were you saying? About the crown floating. Is that what that was about, Simon? And Chris says, I like that she truly looks like someone you could have a conversation with. Exactly. That's exactly where I was going with that. Robin says she's very gently thoughtful with her soup bowl. You think she's going to eat it, Robin? I don't feel like she's going to eat that. But I know what you mean. Isabella Rotman, thank you so much, Lori. Yes. I just want to say Lindsay, and I'm like, that's not right. That is not right. Elle says, mirroring, reflecting the compassion, empathy, and love she shows others onto herself. Oh, I like that. Looking down in that bowl and seeing that reflection come back to her. Very self-loving. Yes, yes, yes. Corbin also loves the court cards in this deck. Me too, for that very reason. Okay, so shall we answer our first question with this card, which was from Simon. So what blockages or obstacles should we look out for that could prevent us reaching our full potential? So what blockages or obstacles should we look out for that could prevent us from reaching our full potential? How do you think she could help us answer that question? For me, right away, I'm going to go for the easy answer while you guys all come up with the really deep and intuitive stuff. But to me, it's like making sure that we are in touch with how we are feeling. So if we are not listening to our intuition, if we're not listening to our heart, if we're not recognizing what really deeply matters to us, it can be very difficult to reach our full potential, especially when we're letting all of the outside noise come in. And to me, this is really about self-reflection. I love the fact that we have this scrying bowl here, or whatever it is that we interpret this to be. We have the moon. To me, this is all about like just trusting in our intuition, feeling calm and assured, self-assured, and as Corbin earlier said, you know, mastering our emotions about that, and not being afraid, right? Not letting that fear prevent us from reaching our potential. So those are some of my thoughts. Let's see what you guys think here. Paper Moon Tarot says, I like the light of the moon shimmering on the water. Just another connection between her and the moon. Yes. And Elle did a smart. Yes, that was a very good smart, Elle. Yes, it was. Let's see here. Everybody agreeing that Elle did a smart? Robin says, whoops, when scrying, look deeper than your own reflection. Yeah, we got to look past ourselves. That's for sure. Paper Moon Tarot says, if you turn the bowl over, you lose things, lose the flow. True. Don't dump it over. Don't do that. Antoinette has a warning for us. Look out for being disconnected from reality. Ooh, that's an interesting interpretation. Good advice, though. Scott says, making sure we are considering the feelings of others and not having emotional blocks. Yeah, we had somebody else who kind of said this earlier today, Oakman, when we were talking about the relationship between her and the High Priestess. And then somebody else said, it's kind of like she's a cross between the Empress and the High Priestess, which I think is really cool. Simon says, be patient and calm with ourselves. Unconditional love, allow ourselves to feel and address those emotional undercurrents. I answered my own question. Well, of course, as you should. But we're happy to throw out some alternative interpretations for you to think about. But I think that's a really great answer. Yep, see, you knew where I was going with that. Donna says, whoops, where did it go here? So using L Smart, be compassionate to yourself. Don't keep beating yourself up for past mistakes. Yes, like all the yes to that. I love that. Amazing ASMR says, this card makes me think that she got a bowl and dipped it into the ocean. Like she's looking into ocean water. I'm sure there's something there. Yeah. And maybe it's like connecting with the world at large in kind of a small, manageable way. Dee says, rest and look within. Life is full and we need to reflect on how we feel. Self-care, question mark. Heck yeah. Simon says, it's all going in the journal. I cannot wait to see this journal when it's done, Simon. Mine was sadly abandoned. But you know, I have all of these to watch back. Okama says, answer, keep in touch with emotions and intuition. Absolutely. Chris says, look out for self-criticism. That's the block I get from this. Looking at your reflection and finding all your flaws. For every flaw, make a point in finding a positive. Or maybe, I'm sorry, I'm going to just bounce off of this here for a second, Chris, because we look at things and we assume they're a flaw. Maybe we can reframe the story around what it is we're observing. Maybe it's not really a flaw. Maybe it's something that makes us special and unique. Just a thought. And then Paper Moon Tarot says, don't be overly emotional either. Don't let your emotions trip you up while being self-compassionate. Exactly. Robin says, metaphorically, she's panning for gold. I mean, yeah, looking for all of the riches that could be inside of her, right? I mean, I don't know if that's what you mean, but that's how I took it. Elle says, we are worthy of the same love we give others. We are worthy of love, compassion, and forgiveness. Just reflect on that for a moment. We are worthy of the same love we give others. We are worthy of love, compassion, and forgiveness. And that nearly makes me want to cry. That's beautiful. Yes, Elle. So agree with you. Okay, I was picking up what Chris was meaning there. Antoinette says, empty the stress bucket before it overflows. Also, very good advice. All right, let me get another card out. I'm going to take another sip of water here. All right, so this one is this was my very first tin deck. I'm not sure everybody will love it, but we're gonna share it anyway. This is the Vanessa Tarot. It's a cute little deck full of Little Women Badasses is pretty much how I see this deck. But let's take a look at our queen in here. Oh, yeah, she's a badass. Wait till you see it here. Oklahoma had said she's right at the edge where land meets ocean. She's connecting the two worlds, and so should we. Oh, I love that. Oh, we've got some love for the Vanessa Tarot in here. Okay, that's nice. Look at those cute little backs. I always love me some purple. All right, so here's our Queen of Cups. I'll give you a nice close-up look. This queen, she is living like a queen. So here again, though, we have the moon coming in. She is flaunting her stuff. She's got some champagne. Now that is what I like in my cup. Let me put some champagne in my cup, please. Okay, I'm going to have to show this a lot closer here. Let me see if that works. Try not to let you see my nails. Desperately need a manicure here. Let's see. What do you guys think about this one? Adult beverage. Heck yeah. You know, and if you're not a drinker, that could totally be some sparkling cider, festive. Sometimes I like to put my sparkling water in a champagne glass just because it's fun. So I do that from time to time. So what does this queen make you think? She definitely seems in control. She seems confident, like I kind of expect a lot of our queens to be. Do you feel like she's approachable? I'm not sure I see her as being as approachable as our previous queen from This Might Hurt. But I don't know. I can see her being a bit of a diva, actually, to be honest. Let's see what you guys think. Oh, Antoinette, that's in my basket, and I'm trying so hard not to push by. Well, she looks like she enjoys the finer things and likes to spend the money. So she might be encouraging you. So be careful here. Maharet says that is one sassy queen. Like seriously, sassy. Robin says this makes me want to grab his Maria Celia off the shelf and see what he did with that queen. Oh, is that the same creator as this? Oh, interesting. Chris said, is that a mountain in front of the moon? That's kind of how I looked at it, right? You know, so maybe instead of the cliff, we have a bit of a mountain, a little bit of an obstacle there in the past, but she seems fairly nonplussed by that. Donna says maybe more alluring than approachable. Ooh, so this too, I think really a lot of people have brought in the association or the similarities to the High Priestess. She definitely gives me some High Priestessy edged vibes. Antoinette, not helping. Sorry. Did I mention that we enable often around here? Looks like an island, says Donna in the background. White Tree Tarot, to me, it looks like she's on a fancy cruise ship, sailing the waters of deep emotions with style. Heck yeah. Oh, I love that interpretation. Elle says, taking on, internalizing others' emotions and ideas. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Don't take on what the world says you should look like. Be who you are and want to be. So, Elle, was this you answering Simon's question? Because it looks like it maybe took a minute to draft that, but that's pretty good. Gigi says, well, Scorpio is a water sign and the fixed one as well. So how about that for her purple eyes? Oh, does she have purple eyes? Oh, it sure looks like it. Antoinette, so this queen I'm feeling. Ooh, so what makes you feel this queen more than the others? I'm totally curious if you want to share that. And maybe you already have. Kristen says, definitely a sensuality to her that is missing from the Rider-Waite-Smith card. Yes. Just because a woman is caring or nurturing doesn't mean she's not sexy. Heck yeah. Elle says, the corset and hyper-feminist of this card took me to a shadow meaning instantly. Oh, see? And I can get that. That's interesting. Sorry, I had a bit of an inner hiccup there. Chris says, so could there be a bit of an emotional block here? Some work that needs to be done to heal the emotional self. You know, sometimes all of those outer trappings are to keep us from feeling vulnerable, right? So is she vulnerable? Is she protecting herself so that she doesn't have to be vulnerable? Some interesting things to explore there. Scorpio Moon Tarot Scott says yes, and that White Tree Tarot. And the reverse could be that, is she too much in her emotions and she is on the Titanic? Yikes. Gianna Gracia, hello. Oh, I'm sorry you've been having an awful couple of weeks. I hope it gets better. The Queen of Cups, maybe she'll bode well for you. All right, so our second question from Kristen Louise, how can we live more authentically? Okay, I kind of love this queen for this question, so you guys will have to tell me what you think. But to me, this is a queen that is making no apologies. She's like, I am who I am, and I am completely confident in that, and I'm going to strut my stuff, right? And I can still be in touch with my emotions and be fabulous while I'm doing it. You know, so to me, that can be, you know, as long as that's not an armor, right? So we don't want this to be something like we were talking about just a moment ago, where, you know, is all of this flamboyance, is this, you know, a shield from vulnerability. But if it's truly who she is and she's just expressing herself confidently, then she is being authentic. And she's like, you know, here I am. I'm not hiding, right? I'm strutting my stuff on this ship. I don't know. What do you guys think? Chris said my earlier comment was based on the mountain in front of the moon. So let me put 2 + 2 together here. Oh, the emotional blockage. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's see here. Antoinette says, so she looks like one of my many Halloween outfits for party time. Ooh, fun. That sounds like a fun Halloween party outfit. Dee says, the High Priestess and RWS Queen of Cups is not alluring like this one. There is no ice. This is no ice queen except in the ice bucket as she's dipping in for more so she can refill her adult beverage glass, right? Paper Moon Tarot says, make yourself feel pretty physically or emotionally. The ice bucket. All right, okay, I have to be careful how much water I drink. Especially when let's talk about water. Anybody else have some thoughts? What do you think? Oh, I love this one, Kristen. Don't be ashamed of your body, right? Embrace self-love. Self-love is a concept that's come up a few times today. I think that's really important. We deserve, and as Elle was saying earlier too, right? We don't judge other people nearly as harshly as we judge ourselves, especially when it comes to things like physical appearance, how we present in the world. And we just need to allow ourselves to accept who we are and not let that stop us from living an authentic life. A lot of times we think, well, I'll do that when I'm this, when I've accomplished that, when I've gotten skinnier, when I've made more money, when I've what, you know, but there's nothing really that should stop us from living authentically right now. And I know that's all very stuff you've heard before, but I like that. Yes, I am in the Pacific Northwest. I am in Seattle, and it's hot. And I had to go to a wedding yesterday, and I was just so thankful it was not outside. But it was in this like big open barn that had cement floors, and they gave us these fans that we could run around with. So that was very helpful. All right. Any other thoughts on this queen before we move on? Oh, oof, what a call out. A much needed call out. Yes. Listen to this queen. Yes, exactly, Antoinette. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed. Enjoy life in the now. But I think the important part, it's really easy to say that, right? Just go out and do it. The important part is believing that you deserve that. It's truly taking that into your heart and recognizing that you are worthy of enjoying life, no matter what you look like, no matter what expectations you've set for yourself that you think you haven't met, you are worthy. If you took anything away from this, I feel like that's such an important one. Let's see here. Oh, Port Townsend. I think it's just a tad bit cooler, but not a lot. I have a friend who's up, for anybody who knows this area, up on Camino Island. She says it's like 26 degrees cooler there. She's like, you can come up if you want. I'm like, well, thankfully I have the air conditioning because otherwise I'd be in big trouble. All right. So we're going to go from the bow of this ship is what it looks like, the yacht, right? We're going to go into the forest with the Tarot of the Magical Forest. Not trimmed all cute like many of you have, although that is on my tarot projects list to do one of these days. Let's take a look and see who we've got. What fun little creature do we have for the Queen of Cups? Knight, Queen. It's a pretty subtle card, I think. Sandra says, I do struggle with thinking I'm worthy. Well, thank you for sharing that. I totally relate, and I think many of us do. And that's why I'm reiterating the message right now for myself as much as for anyone else here. Antoinette says, so still answering the last question, use the best crystal and dinnerware. Who are you saving it for otherwise? Yeah, like bring out the fine china. Why does it just need to be for special occasions? And then Kristen also answering her own question. Yes, don't try to fit in. If you don't fit in for being you, that is better than fitting in for being someone else. Exactly. Sending hugs to all of you. Okay, so here's the backs for those of you who maybe haven't seen the Tarot of the Magical Forest. And here is our Queen of Cups. She's got a tiny little crown that kind of reminds me of the one from This Might Hurt. She is giving you some side eye, though. She's saying, hey, know your worth, people. Know your worth. So instead of kind of like an ocean, it looks like we have more of a river. I don't know if that means anything different to you. So what do you guys think about this card? And let's see here. Elle says, the worthiness part is so important. It stops you from truly internalizing, believing that the love we are being shown is valid. Yes, and then it also allows you to stop basing your worth on the opinions and stories that other people have about you, right? Because they can't know. no matter who they are, no matter how close to us they are, the only person who truly knows you is you, and so you have to establish that worthiness for yourself. Nobody else gets to decide. Kristen says, a very shocked bunny. Yeah, that's all I can think is like, she's looking at you going, I know what's up. I see you. Right? I don't know if there's anything in particular. This bunny here has got still a bit of opulence with this kind of extravagant coat or cloak that she has going on here, right? But her cup is pretty tame, just like the crown, right? It's a little bit more simple. Maybe the cup is a little bit more like this one. It's not over the top. So does that kind of change how you would look at the Queen of Cups with this card versus maybe more like our original? Gigi says, oh, the rivers run by at her feet. She can always refill her cup because she resides right where the ever-changing currents are. Oh, I like that too, like the idea of the changing currents. Could this be a delta? Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Renee says, I'm barely learning about worthiness myself and not letting all the judgment affect me. Now standing up for myself. Good. Embrace that, queen. Donna says, dump those toxic emotions and let them be carried away to the ocean. Only for toxic emotions, nothing else toxic. Okay, yeah, you're right. We don't want all the other toxic stuff flowing into the ocean, but toxic emotions, we can let that flow. I see what you're saying there. Robin says, she looks a bit mortified at what may be floating her way downstream. I mean, we have to be careful not to let other people's stuff that might be floating down the river, if somebody upstream has let their toxic emotions flow, we don't want to be dipping our cup into the river at that point. Let's wait till they go on by and then get a nice fresh cup of water, please. Right? I decided to take Robin's comment a different way, just so you know. All right, let me see what you guys think about how we can answer Scott's question, which is how can we live in a more empowered state throughout the week? How would you guys answer this one? Dee says, let's hope the fur is not rabbit, the shock of wearing her relatives. Oh, that's disturbing. No, I'm clicking that comment. Sorry, Dee. Yeah. It'd be like, yeah, no, I can't. I got to put that thought out of my head quickly. Somebody give me else something else to read. Let's see here. How can we live in a more empowered state throughout the week? So recognizing that things are going to ebb and flow, our emotions are going to move up and down, but if we can learn how to ride the current, I'm going with the theme of this card here, and recognize that all of those emotions, the good ones, the bad ones, those are all a part of the life experience. So if we allow ourselves to flow with it, rather than resist it, rather than to try to run upstream into the toxicity that's flowing downstream from everyone else, then we are more in control. So there's a way that you can go with the flow in a controlled way versus being carried away by the current, right? So allowing yourself to adapt and be flexible so that you can kind of change with the tides or the times, I think can allow you to be empowered even when things happen that are sort of outside your control. That's one way I think we could look at that. Uh-oh, cover Vaughn's ears, he'll get ideas. Oh, Vaughn and the bunnies, man. See, Scott says, keep our emotions in check. Yeah, I had a really long-winded way of saying that. Very long-winded. Renee says, I think I just answered that one by standing up for ourselves, but in a genuine, authentic way. Yes. Erin says, makes me think of warrens. When rabbits build them, they know how they dig in a way that the water won't flood out their dens. Oh, that's smart. Kristen says, when your cup is low, make sure you take from the stream what you need instead of telling yourself others should be nourished first. Put your mask on first. Yes, always important, right? We have to keep our cup full so that we can then refill the cups of others. If we have an empty cup, we are no help to anyone. Oklahoma says, there's something about rivers, always moving, but still the same. But are they really ever exactly the same, right? They're slowly eroding the landscape around them, or things are changing. So the changes are subtle, very subtle, but interesting too. Like you wouldn't notice it. I'm trying to think of where my brain is going with that. Antoinette said, visit the ocean, breathe with the ebb and flow of the water, clear the mind, and just listen. I like this too, Robin. Don't just be an observer watching the world flow by. I like that a lot, actually. Let's see. Elle says, gosh, I've had some epiphanies during this play date. Antoinette says, stick your feet in some water and ask it to take away your woes and negativity with love for recycling. Recycling is good. I'm a big fan. I try to recycle in every way that I can. All right, I'm going to get the next deck out here. I have two more. Feel free to keep the advice coming. So this one is the Prisma Visions Tarot by James R. Eads. I recently picked this up with the Cosma Visions Kickstarter. So it's the newer matte edition. Let's see here. Let's get the Queen, which is one aspect of a huge panorama. For those of you who have maybe not known this, each one of the suits in this deck creates like a huge panorama picture, which is really a cool aspect. This is an interesting card. I'm hoping you guys can see the details well enough. I feel like in the camera it'll be easier than in person. Here are the backs. So here we go. Let's see what you think. See if we can get some focus. She's very ethereal here, isn't she? Up in the night sky with all the stars floating above. She's like part of the water is kind of how I see that. What do you think? Again, we still have the crown there. I think the crown has been very consistent. Oh, except for, oh yeah, even our queen on the boat had, our Vanessa Tarot had like a tiara. All right, let's see what you guys think here. Obama said, be the bridge. I like that. Kristen said, the bunny looks like me when I'm completely stuck in my head. Tune into the world, stop being so stuck in your head, and engage the world. So answering that question here. Yeah, I love this matte version of it, Sandra. All right. Oh, Gigi's sharing with us here. I was very sick for many years, and before that I was a caregiver and wanted to make everyone happy. I couldn't give anymore and it sucked, but I feel so empowered by being able to say yes. And how, and I'm guessing there's maybe a to be continued there. I'm hoping, Gigi, that you're going to say something about, hopefully you figured out that it's easier to say yes when your cup is full, something like that. What do you guys think about this one? Does it bring anything different to mind? What do you think about the fact that she looks to be so much part of the water, super connected with her emotions and the ebb and flow of things, I feel like? Scott asks, is she holding her hand on top of the cup so that her emotions don't spill out in a destructive way? Ooh, good spot. Yeah, is she protecting that cup? There's something a little different in the cup, right? It's not the same like water that we see flowing everywhere else. There's a little bit of a different colored liquid. So yeah, maybe there is some level of protection, not letting them spill over. I love that. Aw, thank you, Lori. That's very sweet. Kristen asks, is she sitting on a flowing tree? I mean, maybe. It's hard for me to tell. This has got such intricate detail. I feel like I should take a magnifying glass to this one, you know? Does this feel calming? Does this feel shadowy? Do you relate to this card? Is it confusing? See, Robin's answering my question before I even asked it. There's a lot of energy in that card. It's not as passive. Yeah, it feels more, it definitely feels busier to me. Erin says this one feels more cosmic, astral, starry. Yes. So we feel like we're getting more into that intuitive realm again, perhaps. Donna, are those tentacles? You know, I'd have to see the rest of the panorama. I haven't really worked with this card yet a lot, or this deck, so I don't really know what picture it ends up making. So I don't know what these connect to. I don't know. Gigi says, no, I feel empowered by being able to give in a different way, in different ways, not in ways that take too much for me, but to let your cup spill over gives back to you. Finding ways how to is empowering. Hard to say. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. I get that. Kristen says this card feels exhilarating, like she's elevating into the sky with her internal power. Yeah, I like that. Gigi says, this queen is really splashing about. Love it. Yeah, she's maybe having a little fun with it, you know? It doesn't have to be all serious emotions. We can have fun, playful emotions too. All right, let's see if we can answer. Now, this is going to be interesting. So Jenna Ball's question here, how will Neptune retrograde affect us? Is going to have us all up in our emotions. Okay, I forgot what Jenna said about Neptune now. I totally forgot. It sounded fun, kind of. Maybe that's me. Let's see. Dee says, this feels cold and distant. And what's with the hand over her cup? Yeah, well, again, like I think, you know, it could be protecting or keeping the outside from splashing in, perhaps. You know, it's like when you go out in the rain with a good beverage, you cover it so it doesn't get rain in there. Elle says, is the water subconscious influencing her, or is she influencing that water subconscious? Don't live your life as one big reaction to others. Yeah, is she redirecting this stream of water? You know, we have the water kind of moving in different directions. Is when it connecting with her, is it offshooting somewhere else? She's taking control and sent it in a different direction. I don't know, maybe. Let's see here. Skittles. Oh, that's right. Skittles chaos. Oh, yes. Engaging in fantasy and illusions. Thank you for reminding me, everyone. That was like an hour ago, so I've forgotten. But yeah, this does have like a dreamlike quality to it. It seems more fantastical than some of our other Queens of Cups. So I can see how this would play into that. Gigi says illusions, dreams, escapism, mirages, movies, nebulous mystery. Sleep is Neptune. Oh, sleep is good. Aaron asks, I believe the Hanged Man is associated with Neptune and water. Yes. Is it? I actually didn't know that. White Tree Tarot says, interesting that the water consists of leaves. Queen is connected realms of earth and water, material and emotional world. Are those leaves? I guess they do look like leaves, don't they? Oh, yeah. Oh, good spot on that one, too. Robin answering says, Neptune seems almost perfect for this card as he was king of the sea and she is queen. Ooh, that's a good point. So how will Neptune retrograde affect us? You know, it sounds like we're really supposed to go with it, right? So if this is where we are, if Neptune affects kind of dreams and illusion and fantasy and all of those things, maybe we're supposed to just embrace that and really harness that and do something very cool and fun with it. Neem says, with all the water emotions she experiences / encounters, she won't let it dilute her wine, the core being that is open to feeling the feels. Oh, I like that. What do you think, Jenna? Do you think we got a couple of good answers for you here? I hope we did. And one more deck to cover. I don't want to hold you guys hostage too long. Oh, I like this one too. Ride the roller coaster of emotions. And I felt like that came up a bit in the last card as well. All right, hang on, folks. We're about to have a ride. All right, I have one last deck for you today. Let me pull that one down here. I have the Sassy Burrito Tarot, otherwise known as the Sassy Burrito. And let's see what our, I know what the Queen of Cups looks like in this. All right, Elle, are you ready for this one? More of the same message coming your way. Okay, let's see here. This one's so fun. This is a lot like the This Might Hurt. Okay, so here's the backs of the Sassy Burrito. I think this is like the first edition of this. The newer edition is a little bit less shiny, if I remember right. But I love this. I love the heart on her forehead, again with the starry night sky. And she's holding and hugging this bowl, but rather than it looking like water, it looks like it's holding the sky. So, but it just reminds me so much of this card that we were looking at earlier, right? I can really see some similarities. So what do you guys think about this? Oh, Aaron had said a water ride. Yeah, it did look like that on that last card, didn't it? Oak Mama said, feel the feels, but don't get carried away. Surf's up. Yeah, have a good time. Spend some time at the beach, Jenna. Kristen said she is writing that sweeping thing like a witch's broom. Use it to encourage your ability for manifestation. So that was answering the last question there. Yeah, she does look like she's writing it like a witch's broom. Elle says, I love her. All right, my chat jumped. Simon says, I love this card. Aaron says, hang on for the ride, like the log flume ride at theme parks. Oh, the last card, yeah. Renee says, I love how she's embracing the cup. Me too. It just, this brings me back to that really loving and nurturing place. But there's so much self-love wrapped in this. You know, this heart on her forehead. It's, you know, maybe that's a way to connect with others. But then also this protectiveness doesn't feel defensive to me. It feels just like she's giving herself a big hug with all of this that's going on inside the bowl there. Kristen says, I love the celestial aspect of this card. She is holding the universe in her arms. Yes. And then Robin had said, rise above the deep currents that might drag you down. Was that an answer to the last one there, Robin? Let's see. Oh, I love her. Oh, her forehead heart. We have some love for this card. Let's see. Scott says, a heart in her third eye chakra, deeply feeling love in your most inner spirit. Love that. Gigi says she sees all of the universe in her water and loves it all. Yes. Dee says she feels more full of joy, soft smile, and kind face. Huh, the word joy sounds familiar. I think that comes up in our question here in a moment. Elle says you have either the third, fourth, or fifth. Oh, first and second, the guidebook was out of the box. Elle knows their stuff about the Sassy Burrito. Oak Mama says, I love that nurturing hug. Yes, Corbin, that's another reason I really love this card is because we have the different ages represented. And I feel like the Queen, like it takes a while to get to that level of emotional maturity. Some of us do it at a much younger age, but it is a journey. And this is reflected in the wisdom in her face, I think. Renee says, I agree. It shows a form of self-love. And White Tree Tarot says, I love this lady. It feels like I would feel much better just by sitting beside her for a while. Seriously. Neem says, remember the last time you got a really great hug? I mean, like that it's okay, you can breathe now hug. She's a great hugger. Yes. Yes. I would totally take a hug from her. All right. So let's answer Dee's question. Oops, I left out a word. Where can we find more joy? Let me fix that. I mean, not that you need me to, but I'm gonna, because where can we? Sometimes I can't help myself. Okay, there we go. That's better. Where can we find more joy? And I think we can find more joy by embracing the love that we have for ourselves and others. You know, bringing it back to gratitude. Oftentimes, finding those moments and the things that we feel grateful about, even when times are stressful, even when we're having a freaking heat wave, right? I'm grateful for my air conditioning, or I'm grateful for my animals that can keep me company while I'm stuck inside, you know? But finding those things that fill our cups, that fill our bowl, that allow us to feel deeply connected with ourselves, with others, and with the universe. I mean, it's hard not to feel joyful in those moments. What do you guys think? Gigi said the little heart forehead tattoo is crone goals. Seriously. I love that. Donna says this has the universe has your back vibe. Oh, it totally does. Robin says, I love the flow in her hair. Yeah, it just feels very easy breezy. But where can find more? Stop it, Elle. Gigi, we can find more joy in hugging and loving the universe back every day. I mean, really, could you say it any better than that? Hashtag crone goals. You know, by the time I get my first tattoo, I probably will be a crone. So it'll happen one of these days. Any other thoughts, my friends, before we move on to the shadowy elements of this queen, the reversed aspects of this queen? Look at that. Neem's telling Elle how to give themselves a nice big hug. Kristen, get outside at night and take in the stars. Oh, you know, I was watching. Okay. All right. I'm going to out myself. You guys can judge me. It's fine. I'm going to be authentically me right now. So I was watching The Bachelorette on Monday, and in the episode, they were out on one of the dates, and they're out, like, they're somewhere in like the desert area. I want to say I think they're in like New Mexico in the US here. And they get into the back of a truck or something, and they lay back and they look up at the stars, and they start talking about how they never do that. They never take a moment to look at the stars. And a lot of us live in the cities. Sometimes it's harder to do that. But sometimes those little moments when you can just reconnect and just be like, oh my gosh, when was the last time I looked at the stars? So easy to find joy in those moments. Anyway, sorry, that triggered a whole thing, Kristen, that I bet you didn't expect. Donna said, apparently we can find joy everywhere, the whole universe. Yes. And Scott makes a good point. A lot of us have been deprived of hugs because of the lockdowns, etc. Maybe we all need to find that someone to give a big hug to, even if it is ourselves. Yes. Kristen Louise, you are not a crap typer. You're not a crap anything. We are self-loving today. You just have so many thoughts that you want to share with us. You're just getting them out there as quickly as you can, and I appreciate and love you for it. So, not crap. All right, sorry, that was a Jen lecture from the Queen of Cups archetype here. Aaron says, this makes me think of the myth of Krishna. His mother told him to open his mouth, and she saw the entire universe in his small mouth. The universe is within you, and you are a universe in and of yourself. Yes. I gave you full permission and everything. Let's see here. Okay, see, Scott's with me and watches The Bachelorette. Thank you for not making me feel alone in that moment. Dee, I get joy from watching The Bachelorette. I'm not going to lie. All right, Dee says, all great joyful feelings and thoughts. Thank you all. I'm glad we could answer this. Renee says, yes, I love looking at the stars and the moon. Robin says, you can embrace and enjoy that bowl, that a bowl can hold water, but water by its own nature cannot be constrained. The flow has to flow. Appreciate that too. Oh, interesting. Yeah, totally. And okay, so those were awesome answers. Let's talk just for a moment about when we see the Queen of Cups in a reversed or blocked position, if you don't read reversals, or in a challenging position, shadowy position. We've covered it a little bit like we often do, that, you know, a lot of times maybe this queen can get carried away by the emotions and maybe lose a little bit of the rationality that needs to help sort of balance that out. Sometimes I think it can be draining. If you're very much in tune with your emotions and the emotions of others, if you're extremely empathic, that can be very draining. We could end up giving too much of our emotions away and then have nothing sort of left for ourselves. So those are some extreme, I think, examples of shadowy side, but it can also be really subtle, right? So the reverse doesn't, as many of us have learned, doesn't always have to mean like the exact opposite of what the upright meaning is. Sometimes it's just enhanced. Maybe we're just a little too connected to our emotions, right? And we're flowing with the water a little too much, and we need to remaster and kind of regain some of that control. Those are some of my thoughts. Let's see what you guys say. Oh, I like these. Neem says she's raging in reverse. Oh yeah, this queen can have a temper, right? Donna says overly sensitive. Emotional insecurity. Oh, that's a great point as well, right? Not being as secure in the emotions that either we have for ourselves or that others have for us. We become a little bit needier, a little bit clingier. I need emotional fulfillment from other people. Being shallow. I mean, if we turn this queen upside down, remember what now we're talking about serious diva. Serious diva. Let's see. Anything else from you guys? Sometimes my StreamYard's a little bit slow on the chat here. Oh, and apparently my YouTube chat just stopped working. Well, that's helpful. Okay. We're not going to be able to cheat and use that today. Melanie says codependency. Yes, exactly. Elle says angry rage crying because you're so damn passionate, but too many feels all at once. Yeah, and it's like, how do you rein that in? How do you get the lid back on that very ornate and loving cup, right? Regina says ignoring intuition or shutting down connectivity. Renee, speaking on the empathic side, when drained, we tend to be alone or stay away from others, blocking all forms of interaction, therefore blocking all forms of any kind of emotions. Yeah, so trying to protect, you end up disconnecting, which is not good. Elsa's like a toddler, not able to self-regulate emotions. Kristen right there with the same thing, dysregulated emotions. Dee says, getting caught up in the drama of others, causing moods and distrust. Yeah, do you think this queen is a particular fan of gossip? Wonder. Robin says, let yourself flow, share of your cup. Yes. All right, my friends, we are nearing the end of Playdate. So before we go, how about I leave you with an activity that you can choose or not to participate in to further connect with our Queen of Cups. If you do, please feel free to share the results of the activity in the Tarot Playdate Facebook group, or if you have Queens of Cups that you really love, please feel free to share those in the group as well. Where is my Queen of Cups? Where are you, darling? All right, let me just do a quick little search in my sheet here. Here she is. All right, so this is another activity where this queen is connecting with others by having tea with them. The queen is having tea with her friends. She needs some advice about a situation or challenge she is facing. You are the queen, so you're the one asking for advice. Who are your friends? Take yourself out for or make yourself a cup of tea or your favorite beverage. Make sure you have your deck with you. Now pull 3 to 5 cards out from the deck. Either select them purposefully or choose them at random. What advice do your friends have for you? So I think that's kind of interesting. This activity was created through the help of a friend. But how can you be this queen asking for advice? So not the advice you would be giving, but you as this queen, what advice would you be getting? That's an interesting way to think about this particular card, I think. Let's see if you guys had any other thoughts. Thank you, Jenna. Appreciate that. All right, my friends, thank you for being here. Thanks for bringing your questions and for participating. I very much appreciate it. And next week, I haven't yet decided. It's the 4th of July holiday here in the U.S. As of right now, I think I'm still planning to go ahead and have Playdate next week because it's early enough in the day before festivities get started. But if anything changes, I'll be sure to let you know, and I'll try to let you know sooner than later so you can plan accordingly. And until I see you in the next one, enjoy connecting with yourself and with others. And I didn't mean that in a weird way. I'm sending you lots of love. Bye, all.